So this is my video for Qudieo 1 AP Stats, teaching future me how to relearn everything I've already learned. So basically for the basics question, it says in 1993, Forbes magazine reported the age and salary of the CEO of each of the top 59 small businesses. Here are the salary data rounded to the nearest $1,000. So it gives you the data and then it asks you to construct a histogram, then describe the stocks of the distribution of the salaries, and then it asks if there's outliers. So obviously first we're going to start by making the histogram. Now by making a histogram, you have to determine in each group how many goes in between. So I went through and did 0 to 100, 101, 200, all the way up to our highest amount, which goes to 1,200. Obviously these amounts are in thousands of dollars, so that is actually 1,200,000. So anyways, I went through all of these numbers and put in each group how many there is. Then, easy part, you just fill out 2, 2, 5, 5, and then all the rest. Then next we need to find the shape, center, spread, etc. So I entered in all of the numbers into my calculator and found the 5-number summary, everything you need to know. And to start off writing, we need to start with context. So basically when the question says all of this information about the data set, you need to restate it in the beginning of your description. So I started off, Forbes magazine reported the salaries of the CEOs for 59 of the top small businesses, just to start off and tell you like what the data set is about. Then you start off with the shape. So through plotting the description of salaries, distribution, on a histogram, the skewed right shape is shown. So obviously when we look at this, you can see that it is skewed right, pointing to the right. And most of the data is on the left side. So we know that the shape is skewed right. Then we can also tell that there's a gap in between 900,000 and 1,100,000, which is this part right here, which is very important to notice because then that brings us to, is there outliers? Now, to find if there's an outlier, you have to go find the interquartile range and then find the upper and the lower cutoff. So by finding the interquartile range, you do quarter 3 minus quarter 1, which you found in our calculator from the 5-number summary. So the interquartile range is 293. To find the upper and lower, use these equations. So quarter 3, which is 543, plus the interquartile range, which is 293, times 1.5, which you get 982.5. And then for this one, you do quarter 1, which is 250, minus the interquartile range times 1.5, which is negative 189.5. So I go back to my data and see if there's any numbers above this or lower than this. And what I find is there is 1. And over here, obviously there's no negatives, so there's no any in the negatives, but there is that one outlier. So I labeled outlier, which is 1,103, also known as 1,103,000. So in here, after the gap in the data lies one outlier of 1,103,000. Through calculations of the interquartile range of 293 and the upper cutoff of 982.5, it is shown that the data individual of 1,103 is in fact an outlying salary amount. After we do the shape and the outlier, we go to the center, which is the median and the mean. So, as this data set is skewed right, the mean of 404.1694, or the dollar amount, is greater than the median salary of $350, or that dollar amount. And the reason that we know that the mean is going to be greater than the median is because it is skewed right. And we knew these numbers just from our 5-number summary that we found in our calculator. Next that we need to add is the spread of the data. And the spread is basically just the standard deviation in the 5-number summary, which we have all over here. So you just add that to your description. The standard deviation of this data set is 218.6566. The minimum salary amount is reported is 21,000, and the maximum amount recorded is 1,103,000. Inside this lies quarter 1, which is 250,000, and quarter 3 of 543,000. And that is the end. A few important things to notice in this description is throughout it I incorporated the context of it, made sure I labeled and put dollar amounts just so that we know what we're talking about and it's not just random numbers. And that is it for the basic question.